Welcome back to Big Sky Buckets. I'm Big Sky, and today we're talking about the doubleheader from Monday night. Yes, I'm a little bit late on it, but the reason we want to talk about it, and even though it's as simple as the home teams have won the home games that they were supposed to and have gone up 2-0 on the opposition, there's just a little bit more in here because really within the story and the context of these games and how insane they genuinely were and how entertaining they were, honestly, the two best games to this point in the playoffs so far, is an undeniable truth that very much if the 76ers and the Lakers do not win on Thursday night back at home, the series is over for both of them. Some people are already calling, kind of myself included, the Nuggets-Lakers series is done. There's no coming back from that. The 76ers, they're on the verge. They're on the verge. And to the people that say that series is over as well, I can't really blame you because the stories of these games and what makes these games so iconic, why people remember this doubleheader is that these are two games that this series should have been extended. The 76ers should have won. The Lakers should have won. But in different ways, in two completely different ways, these teams blew it. And the other teams grabbed it and never looked back. We're going to start with Knicks 76ers here in what can only be described to me as chaos in the garden, reminiscent of Reggie Miller's 9 points in 8 seconds. I believe that is correct. I was not born when that happened. I can only imagine being in that arena at that moment and just having your heart just fall out of your body. But imagine that, but the flip side. Imagine it's the Knicks doing it, which is exactly what happened. With basically less than 40 seconds left in the game, the 76ers up 5. Again, the Knicks are not known for the half-court offense. They're not known for their offense, period. They're known for their tough, blue-collar, gritty defense, and that their effort plays win them games. And somehow, some way, this is no different than any of those. It's just in a much more dire situation. And yes, there was a lot of controversy in this game. But you can break it down to simply a single player. A single player changed the game on the offensive end and then inevitably the defensive end. The player of the game, in my opinion, for this game is Isaiah Hartenstein because, yes, the 76ers botched the inbound play. There's a lot of controversy with that. Whatever. The ball finds its way to Dante DiVincenzo as the clock is running down, and he rips a three. At this point, you're down 2 if you're the Knicks. But he misses it. And it's at this point, no controversy can be really thrown in here other than the fact that Joel Embiid just straight up did not box out correctly. He was ball watching. He was thinking Tobias would get the rebound. But when the shot went up, Isaiah Hartenstein didn't care if it went in or didn't. He immediately ran and got the offensive rebound to give them another shot. And as it swung its way back to Dante DiVincenzo, 76ers, who couldn't call a timeout because they didn't have control of the ball, confused, shocked at what is transpiring before them, allowed Dante DiVincenzo to get a wide open second attempt at a top of the key three. And this time it goes in because shooters don't miss twice. All of a sudden, you're down 1 if you're the 76ers, and they've just scored 6 points in about 12 seconds. There's not much time left in the game. And you write up a play for Tyrese Maxey to get straight to the rack, which he can because he's the fastest player on the court. You know you can quickly get a bucket, and then you can play some much more focused defense where you're not shocked, where you're not scatterbrained, where you're not saying to yourself, is this really happening right now? But Isaiah Hartenstein, the player of the game, gets a miraculous block, just like a microsecond, a millisecond, whatever you want to say, before it touches the backboard. He gets the block, the rebound, the OG, he gets fouled, makes both free throws, and all of a sudden, the momentum has completely died for the 76ers. This was it to steal the game, to get your motivation back up, the hype, the confidence to go into Philly and be like, even though Embiid is injured, we found a way to beat this team. But the Knicks, they fought and clawed and found their way to an unforgettable win in the Garden, an unforgettable moment in history. And every Knicks fan will never forget this. Those who watch this game, they will not forget this moment. And it has been etched itself in history. And if the Knicks win this series, if the 76ers fail to win Game 3 on Thursday, this will go down as the moment where they won this series. And on the flip side, in a completely different manner, the Lakers, who have lost 9 straight to the Nuggets going into Monday night's game, played the best basketball I've ever seen them play against this team, against these iterations of teams. In the past 11 months, they played each other 9 times, and 9 times the Nuggets have won. D'Angelo Russell gave you 7 threes, a franchise record for the Lakers, and made threes in a playoff game. Anthony Davis played the best half of basketball I have ever seen him play post-bubble. 24 points on missing a singular shot and elite defense. LeBron making winning defensive plays, blocking Jamal at the rim, taking charges from Aaron Gordon, taking a charge from Aaron Gordon. He is ready to play. He does not want to lose. He will will them to a win. And the Nuggets on the flip side, playing some of the worst basketball you've seen them play maybe all year long. Jokic not getting it going in the first half. Jamal just having a stinker. And honestly, just no one else really showing up other than Michael Porter Jr. And they go down 20. At the 10-minute mark in the third quarter, Michael Malone calls a timeout and puts Aaron Gordon. One adjustment was made. He puts Aaron Gordon on Anthony Davis. And all of a sudden, AD, who had 28 to that point, ends the game with 32. That's the last 22 minutes he gets 4 points. D'Angelo Russell stopped shooting as well. Now, to be fair, that is typically what's going to happen with shooters. Can't be as hot. Like, you can't be that hot all game long. And then all of a sudden, you just start noticing as Jokic isn't concerned about Anthony Davis as much or trying to guard him. He's just making the right passes, making the plays, and all of a sudden, this Nuggets team that's felt inevitable against the Lakers 9 times in a row is looking to make it a 10th time. And all credit to LeBron, man. He tried his absolute best in the fourth quarter. And when you're thinking, well, it's still a 10-point game going into the fourth, guess who's come to play? Finally, after 3 quarters of bad basketball, Jamal Murray decides now is the time he's going to play good basketball. And not even good, elite shot-making basketball. This is one of the greatest playoff risers I've ever seen in my life. And this game really, he's had 50 bombs in the playoffs. He's had multiple 40 bombs in the playoffs. But this one felt like a defining moment of his legacy. I know that's kind of like, that's thrown around a lot. But when you play so bad for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, it's like that never happened. Like you've been hot all game long. To close the game out, this is the legacy of these Nuggets. They are an offensive machine. It only takes one run from them. One run, and they can come all the way back from down 20. And that's exactly what happened. With the chaos at the end of this game, it's the inevitability because everyone, by the time it got to less than 3 minutes left, and Michael Porter Jr. hits that clutch 3 to tie it at 95, all you could think in your head, probably the Lakers too, is that inevitably we're going to lose. We can't stop them. We have to rely entirely on making shots. It's just kind of like they were so scared of losing at that moment that, again, the only player who came to play for the Lakers in the fourth quarter was LeBron. Made multiple threes, made multiple plays at the rim, and still, when it came down to it, when the opportunity presented itself with a wide open 3, probably the first wide open 3 it had since the first quarter. It's been a long time since then. He has to take it, even if he wants to run the clock out a little bit more. And you miss, and Michael Porter Jr. gets the rebound. Jamal Murray, The Nuggets have 16 seconds left. Jokic is waving off the coach. At this point in the second half, Jokic has completely come alive. He's got 27 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists. He's telling everyone to go to the left side, and it's a Jamal Murray ISO play. And then a one-on-one coverage of Anthony Davis, one of the best defenders in the league, against Jamal Murray. And Jamal, the playoff riser, the closer that he has the ability to be in these playoffs, hits a step-back mid-ranger over Anthony Davis as the shot clock expires, and they win 101-99. The Lakers quite literally could not have played any better in that first half. They couldn't have played any better in, half of the third quarter. But a quarter and a half of just falling apart, it's just like the trauma that this Nuggets team has caused them. Eventually Rui and D'Lo and AD, they just weren't the viable players that they were in the beginning of this game. They just couldn't close these guys out. And now you go home, as heartbroken as humanly possible. It was right there in your palms, in your grasp. And I don't even know if they can win another game. They have to win on Thursday. It is a must win. But do they have the emotional makeup? Other than LeBron, does AD, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui, do these guys have it in them to forget about what just transpired? And how do you look at the hot start that the Lakers have always had in these games and not think none of this matters? That the Nuggets are going to come back. And that's where kind of it comes down to, is that after 10 straight wins, it's this 10th one that meant the most to the Nuggets. That this was the final stamp on, it's not even a question anymore. This team completely and utterly owns them. When it comes down to the game of basketball and everything that comes with it, especially in the playoffs, this Nuggets team completely owns the Lakers. And it just leaves you, it left me just laughing at the concept of what I just watched. When Jamal made it, when he took the shot, I basically started laughing because I knew it was going in. Because everyone who was in that arena and everyone who was watching that game knew what was happening. The Nuggets were going to complete the 20-point comeback. And they did. And now, the Lakers have to go home. Try and forget what just happened. And they're about to be haunted by this game. These game twos, to summarize, most likely than not, will be the defining game of the series. That was about as great of two back-to-back games as you're ever going to see in the NBA playoffs. The playoffs are great, don't get me wrong, but this was special. This stood out as something I have never seen before, where two insane games back-to-back, especially how they ended, in two completely different ways. That's what the playoffs are about. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I will see you guys soon. Content's just going to come and go as the games progress. I'm going to do more shorts, all of that. But I will see you guys later. Peace.